Welcome everyone to the Daly City Recreation meeting for March 27th. And just a reminder, we do not have a quorum tonight, so this will be, excuse me? All right, to continue. And because we do not have a full quorum, this is going to become an information meeting for viewing purposes as well. So thank you very much. I'd like to open it up with Joseph.
Thank you, and welcome to the non-meeting of the Recreation Commission for March 27th. Had we had a quorum tonight, we would be seeking action from the Commission, support, endorsement of some fees that we are adjusting, and we will be bringing this forward to the City Council. Assuming it gets approved, we're hopeful that we can put these fees into place at the beginning of our fiscal year, which starts July 1. Okay. So we'll start off with our first program, and that is our after-school recreation program. And I will say these fees would actually go into effect next school year in the fall. Okay. And on hand, joining us this evening for the first time in a very long time, Ms. Jennifer Durr.
Okay, welcome, Jen.
Good evening, Commissioners. Okay, so as you know, we have an after-school youth recreation program through the Recreation Division, and we service 4 school sites: Daniel Webster, Panorama, MH Tobias, and Juniper Serra. And at these 4 sites, we have about 290 youth per month. Mm-hmm. And the program provides youth with a diversity of experiences, silent sustained reading, homework assistance, enrichment, fitness, daily snacks, and social interaction. Mm-hmm. So today, due to the anticipated rise in the costs and demands of providing the program, staff proposes to raise the monthly base fee to $69. Previously it was $64, and for programming Monday through Friday, 3 hours a day, to include early release and minimum days on school days that are in session. Fees will vary based on each school sites, because some of our schools have a longer duration for after school because they get out at staggered times. Mm-hmm. But so the general base fee would be $69. The proposed fee would cover the cost to maintain to lower staff to participant ratio, and the increase in staff wages as the minimum wage for part-time staff continues to increase on an annual basis until the wage reaches $15 an hour. Mm-hmm. So the impact. AYRP is an essential service, and it not only provides a safe place for students to be, but it gives students the opportunity to develop healthy and valuable life skills. The 2017-18 AYRP program that's going on right now is anticipated to generate about $180,000. With the proposed fee increase, we're anticipating to generate approximately $200,675,000, assuming the participation rates stay constant. And then the chart below shows the direct expenses are anticipated to stay about the same. I guess, do you guys have any questions?
I don't know if they can.
Oh, you can't have, oh, this is informational.
Is it informational?
But in case you
know.
do you want more information.
Yes, we can share more information. You just guys can't make a decision.
Yeah.
Just a question, are any one particular site having the more increase than the others that you're noticing?
So most of our sites are have stayed constant. Well, MH Tobias has the largest amount of attendance. Juniper Serra has a constant rate. Daniel Webster has seen a decrease in enrollment, and that is one site that they've been trying to apply for ACES funding, but they have not been awarded the grant.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you, Jeff.
Just one question. When was the last time there was a change?
2 years ago.
Okay.
And that was a $5 increase as well.
Okay.
Okay, great.
And as you can imagine, our costs continue to grow, both as staffing get raises, cost of materials, and
right. no one ever wants to see the word increases, but when we come to increases that we're going from and to, it's very nominal. So, and I think that just barely takes us to the nose above water, so to speak. To meet some
And just to
expenses.
be very clear,
Yeah.
this is still a very much subsidized program.
Yes,
So that the taxpayers are covering a chunk of it too.
right.
There was a little more historical background on it. These programs used to be free,
Mhm.
not in the too far past. I think it was about 2010, 11, when 2009, okay, when the fees were first introduced. And it was, at that time, the city council's directive to try to bridge the gap in the subsidy. They're okay with subsidizing youth programs. They wanted to eliminate subsidies for like adult sports programs, and it was about the same time when adult softball went away. And so there was a willingness to continue some level of subsidy for youth programs, but they wanted to see us heading towards cost recovery. I don't know that we'll ever get full cost recovery because we would probably be unaffordable to a lot of the families that use the program. But we're trying to, at least, as you say, keep our nose above water on that.
Yes, agree. Well, thank you, Jen, for the information regarding the after-school youth recreation program. And I know this is information process we're going through today, but knock on wood, hopefully we can get it through to the next step, get it approved. Okay. That concludes my questions regarding the AYRP. That concludes my questions I would
Okay.
have on the AYRP. Would you have any others?
No, no other questions.
Okay.
If you'll excuse me, I have to pick up my daughter.
All right, our
Okay.
next item,
Okay, take care.
one of our, if not most popular, definitely the most impacted program that we offer are our aquatics classes at Giamona Pool. Again, we're very moderate in the prices that we have now, below the market for our neighboring communities that offer swim lessons. And I will let Ms. Denise Brown make a little presentation on behalf of our aquatics folks on the anticipated increase in swim lesson fees.
Thank you. And also, like the after-school youth recreation program, these increases we're looking to implement in the fall as well, because the way these sessions run, that will be the next session impacted. So we did a survey through San Mateo County to see what the fees are currently in at the different locations, and the fees that we are looking to implement are kind of in line with what everybody else is already at. So with that being said, the background on the swim lessons are that since Giamona Pool's grand opening in 2010, Giamona Pool has continued to improve and expand aquatic programming for their residents. By 2012, semi-private lessons, the after-school swim club program, Friday night events, and additional lap swim hours were added to the pool's programs and services. Though Giamona Pool provides a variety of programs, swimming lessons continue to be the primary service, with more than 1,250 classes offered that serve over 6,400 participants and generate approximately $370,831 in program revenue. Due to the anticipated rise in the cost and demands of providing aquatic programs, staff proposes to raise fees for the following lessons. So our preschool lessons are going to go from $59 to $65 for residents. The youth, teen and adult, and swimmer's aid are going to go from $53 to $60. Semi-private lessons are $110 to $120, and our lifeguard classes are going to go from $193 to $220. And like I said, across the peninsula, that for us, that range is about $750 per class, and we are probably in the median of that. So some are as low as $5.63 a class, all the way up through to $21 a class. So we're pretty consistent with the majority of the different cities that provide swim lessons. The proposed fee will assist with the increasing cost of supplies. It will also assist with the annual increase of hourly wages due to the state increases to the minimum wage. Every year, our minimum wage goes up. So we have to take that into consideration. The fees have pretty much stayed about the same for quite a number of years. We were kind of the low city, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be a huge impact to the community, and they're very well populated with participants. I mean, you can't, once a registration opens up on an 8:30 in the morning for participants, they're either in line at our office or they're online pressing the button to get ready to get on the class, so.
A lot of the classes fill up within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you have people calling, asking, can I still get into? No. So the fiscal impact would be the swimming lessons are an essential service to the community, providing a positive environment for students and athletes to learn how to swim safely. By increasing lesson fees, the projected program revenues are anticipated to increase by at least $38,000, generating $415,590 in program revenue. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
Just a short question here, Denise. As far as the adult portion of the teen lessons, what kind of participation levels are you getting in that in terms of numbers?
I think that the adult lessons are populated probably on average like fairly good.
Okay.
I think because the adult lessons go down as low as 13, so a teen could actually be considered in the adult classes. It makes it a little easier to bring those young people in because they don't have to worry about, oh, now I have to fight for a duckling or a guppy or that. I can be in an adult class and have like more of a relaxed setting, not be around the younger
Okay.
population.
Good. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Do you have any questions, Christina?
I'm just curious, as far as residents and non-residents, like what's the percentage typically?
Less and less every time. We used to be overwhelmed, especially with San Francisco people.
Yeah.
And as Chair Pastor recalls, a couple years back, we changed our registration model so that Daly City residents have priority on the day before. So they take most of the spaces, if
Yeah.
not all of them.
Yeah.
So it's the balance is starting to shift
Okay.
back in the direction of more Daly City. But we have people from San Mateo to San Francisco. They love the pool here. The instructors, and it's a good quality program, and it's a value. So now we have addressed the issue with classes being overrun with San Francisco people, and they don't like it, but they understood.
Right. Yeah.
Broadmoor people don't like it. Colma people don't like it, but Daly City people, it's Daly City property taxes that support our programs and activities, so it
Right.
seems fair and
Yeah.
right to give the Daly City residents a day advantage over everybody else. So
There you go.
I don't have a sense of where we are now, but it used to be split pretty evenly between outside of Daly City and inside of Daly City, but slowly the San Francisco people are getting displaced because the
Yeah.
classes fill up so fast.
Yeah. Okay.
So, which brings up, since you brought up the benefit for a Daly City resident to sign up for any of these classes, what is the next date for that to happen? Is that in the fall for that pre-registration of a Daly City resident?
It's
No.
every session.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
every session?
Yeah.
Every session, there's a Daly City priority day
Okay.
for them to register, and it's a day ahead of everybody
Okay.
else. So if, let's say next week, registration was going to be on Tuesday, that would be for the Daly City families, and then the following day, everybody else could take whatever's left. And
Right.
like I said, oftentimes, there's not much left,
Oh, it's-
the way it should be.
Yes.
It's good to see the new gym on the pool full.
Very full. Overfull.
Yeah, we could use another pool or two
Yeah.
to accommodate the demand right now.
Right. Great. Thank you again, Denise.
Mm-hmm.
All right, our third and final agenda report this evening is probably the driest. There's no pool water involved. And it is a revised structure and policy for facility rentals. So as you're aware, many of our facilities, Bayshore War Memorial, Pacelli, and Larkham and Lawson and Dolter Cafe, the Hillside and Marchbank and whatever ones I'm forgetting. They're available for the public to rent. And it's quite popular part of our operation is renting facilities for parties, birthday parties and wedding receptions and even funeral receptions. And this is something that we haven't really studied closely for a number of years, and we actually had the benefit of having somebody from the county helping us out in a part of a management talent exchange program.
Right.
And when she spent 3 months working in the city manager's office, taking on other projects, including the front yard paving, but she also looked at where we were in terms of our rentals compared to the rest of the county. And not surprisingly, we were quite low. And we, at the same time, on a different track, we were restructuring our policies in the rental agreement to kind of clean that up a little bit. And so we're going to bring that back or the whole thing packaged together, and hopefully in July 1 have a new rate. And a couple other things have changed. And there's a mandate that whoever rents our facilities has insurance. And so it's kind of based on the capacity of the room or the facility they're renting. There's a deposit involved and custodial fee, and there's security fees and measures we take. So the exciting part of it is what are our fees today and where are we going? And I'm going to try to breeze through this quickly because, like I said, this is pretty dry information. But we have broken down our halls into categories based on the capacity of the room. So the two smallest facilities we have available are Hillside and Marchbank clubhouses. They both have a capacity of 49. Today, those facilities rent for $50 an hour, which is very reasonable, and we're just nudging that up a little increment up to $60 an hour. Our next smallest and probably our most popular facility is Larkham Clubhouse at Westlake. It's currently $75 an hour. The proposed fee will be $85. And then we've got quite a few in the 130 to 150 capacity range, and that includes Gellert Park Clubhouse, the War Memorial Activity Room, Cafe Dolger, Lawson Hall, the Merced Room adjacent to Pacelli Gym, and the Talia Community Center. So there was various hourly rates on those, or there is currently, and we're proposing all of those between the 130 and 150 capacity would be going up to $110 an hour. Some of them are $100 an hour now, so it's just, again, a slight increase there. Kind of in its own categories, the Lincoln Park Community Center with a capacity of 160. That's currently available for $125 an hour, and that will be bumped up to $130 an hour. If you want to get into a little discussion about the insurance, we have two kinds of insurance. If the event has alcohol available to the guests or not, that affects the price of insurance. And the proposed will be, if there is no alcohol, any event with an anticipated guest capacity of between 1 and 100 would be $105 for the event, and anything between 101 and 500, which is our largest capacity, would be $140 with no alcohol. With alcohol, that goes up to $165 for the smaller rooms and $200 for the larger. We do require deposits. It's kind of a good faith. It's fully refundable if everyone behaves and lives up to their end of the agreement. So the deposits are currently broken into small and large. So the smaller facilities, it's a $250 deposit. Larger ones are $800. We're breaking that down into subunits, so $45 or 49 people or less would be $250. That range between 85 and 160 would go up to $400, and 300 is going to stay at 800 where it is today. And for the larger capacity event, it would be up to $1,000. for the rental deposit. Again, that's fully refundable, and it's sort of an incentive for the hosts to keep their guests in check. And unfortunately, every year we probably have a half dozen or so parties that spin out of control, and police get involved. And we try to encourage everybody to be on their best behavior, but especially when there's alcohol involved, sometimes it spins out of control a little bit. We do charge a $50 fee if there are changes after the agreement is entered into. So you get one chance to make changes. Usually it's shifting the event either later into the day or earlier in the day, and that's $50. We don't allow changes within 2 weeks of the event, so that doesn't come into play too much. We do have a problem sometimes collecting. If we want, fees should be paid 100% 2 weeks prior to the event. Sometimes people have difficulty getting on time, and for those folks, we do charge a $50 late fee. That will go up to $100, and hopefully people make a greater effort to pay their balance on time. We have a non-resident fee, just like we do with aquatics, and it's currently a flat fee of $75 per rental. That's going to go up to $100. And the fee for the picnic shelter at Gellert Park, which is the only picnic shelter that we do rent out and reserve, is going to go from $100 per day to $125 per day. And we also have some classrooms that we make available to the public for little meetings, the smaller classrooms at the Dolger Center, rent for $25 an hour. And if you've been in the War Memorial activity room, that room actually can be separated into 3 separate rooms. Doesn't happen very often, but if you have a smaller group and you just need 1/3, you can rent that for $30 per hour. On to athletic fields and gyms. So all those things we've talked about up to this point, mostly they're social gatherings, parties, dances, and that kind of stuff. So for athletic fields, we have baseball diamonds at Gellert Park and Westlake Park that are available. For residents, they're currently $20 an hour and $30 an hour for non-residents. That will be raised to $30 an hour for residents and $40 an hour for non-residents. And some of the synthetic turf fields we have at Gellert and at Policy to School, those will go from $66 an hour up to $75 an hour for everybody. We used to have unexplained school rates that some of the schools took advantage of, and we couldn't find a basis for undercutting the going rate for these gyms and facilities. I don't know. We don't know historically how certain schools in Daly City bargain down to these rates, but there's no written agreement, so everyone's going to be treated equally under the new plan, and it'd be $75 an hour. We do have a little grass field next to the field at Gellert Park that is available currently for $33 an hour. It's going to go up to $40 an hour. It's actually $33.33 an hour. It's going to go to $40. And the administrative staff is very grateful for those nice round numbers. We do have lights that can be used for $20, going up from $10 to $20 an hour. And in kind of a dying art is the old infield lining that used to be kind of a standard prep. You drag the field and line it. More and more of the people we rent to, the teams come in and they do that part, but we will still make it available for an extra fee. But the reality is we don't have too many old-time staff that are real adept at dragging and lining fields, but we do make that service available. Gyms, we have Bay Shore, Pacelli, and War Memorial. Again, with various rates from $35 to $75 an hour. That's way, way, way below the going rate for gym rentals in this area. At $100 an hour, our proposed rate would still be the best bargain in the Peninsula and San Francisco area. Gyms not nearly as nice as our facilities, rent in the range of $135 to $150 an hour. So we're proposing $100 an hour. The exception would be War Memorial. You could actually rent upper and lower gym concurrently, and that would be $250 an hour. So if you're having a volleyball tournament or basketball tournament and you need both gyms, or you're running a camp, or you've got multiple teams from the same organization practicing, they can do it at War Memorial and take both courts. And the insurance will be going up too. For the smaller facilities, it'll be up to $250, and the larger facilities, it'll be $360. Lastly, a couple things that we are kind of new. There's been a demand for overnight parking at Westlake. It's something we've talked about here before. It's a practice that's been going on for many, many, many years, sort of under the radar. We're trying to make it a little more formal so we know who's there, and so police making patrols know who's there, and subject to our approval based on the capacity at the time, because if it's a finite parking lot, if we have a lot of activities going on, we wouldn't open it up.
Right.
But if we can accommodate, we would charge $8 per car per night. And the other thing we're looking for, it's not really an issue right now because the way we treat tennis here, it's first come, first serve. Looking forward to the day when we have nice new tennis courts. We anticipate a time where the demand will be so great that it makes sense to have a reservation-based system in place, and we're proposing $5 an hour. The reality of that's probably a couple years away when when the tennis courts at Gellert and Westlake are redone.
Right.
So that concludes that long-winded overview. I'll say that more than the after-school program or aquatics, this piece is way overdue. So we're just playing catch-up with the rest of the market.
Yeah, so I take it that it's been, seriously, right? I'll just say a good number of years since the last.
Many years, many years.
Okay. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's one of the best non-meetings I've had since the last non-meeting that we had.
Yeah, I've booked a lot of venues in the past couple of years from different counties and different cities, so these are definitely all in line with those, I think
The one comparison I like to use, has anyone been into the old Ceremony Girls Gym, Ceremony Del Rey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the CYO gym.
Mm-hmm.
It's tiny, it's stinky, it's the floor's not right, and the rims look like they haven't been changed in 20 years. That place rents for $135 an hour.
Wow.
Our facilities are vastly superior to that, and we're going to come up to 100. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Like I said, it's memory serves me right. It's been a good number of years since the last consideration of reviewing the rates and what have you. And like I said, also it's still a bargain when you compare it with our neighbors.
And like everything else, it costs of maintaining things. Or our department alone, we're paying over $1 million a year in maintaining our facilities. We're not recovering $1 million in rental fees, not even close. So we'll inch up towards that. But.
Great. Well, I know on our agenda tonight that there's a good list of upcoming events that
There is a great list, and there's
announced.
probably even things that aren't on the list.
Yeah.
I think I've touched most of them.
I'm going to start. I'll start, and then you can jump in. So coming up right around the corner this week, Friday, March 30th, a teen social at Giamona Pool, 7:30 to 9:30, and then double mark your calendars for Saturday, March 31st, because all of the fun starts at 10 o'clock in the morning with our Spring Fun Day at Paulicita. If you've ever seen it, it's absolute chaos for about 2 hours out on the field.
3 hours.
3 hours on the field. And we have to thank the Daly City Host Lions Club, because without their support, this event would not happen. This event was eliminated many years ago, and the Lions Club, actually when Carol Klatt was still with us, led the charge to get the Lions Club to pay for it so we can continue this event. So they do every year, and they volunteer, and with our staff, it's a lot of fun for the kids. It is absolute chaos for about 3 hours on the field at Paulicita. If you want something a little more slow-paced, at the same time at Jefferson High School,
11 to 2.
well, almost the same time, Supervisor David Canepa is hosting District 5 Together Day out at Jefferson High School. We'll also be represented there along with a lot of community partners in the North County area. So on Saturday, March 31st, there's a lot to do in Daly City.
Okay.
And then the following week, we will have a first in a very long time, if ever, 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
Cross your fingers and your toes, and if there's any teens out there that are listening, we still need more teams to participate. 3 to 5 players, male, female, doesn't matter. $20 for the team to register into the tournament at the War Memorial on Saturday, April 7th. Come and be a part of the first 3-on-3 basketball tournament,
Great.
only for high school students.
High school students.
And then also that same day is the Under the Sea event in the afternoon at Giamona Pool, 12:30 to 2:30. It's an $8 entrance fee for that. And then, Daly City we've got 5 different school districts that overlap, and we got 3 different spring break schedules going on. But we will be offering spring recreation camp at Westlake Park, April 9th through the 13th. And at that same time, too, April 9th through the 13th, there'll be an aqua camp available at Giamona Pool. And hopefully, you're looking very puzzled. Hopefully, one year, the school districts will come together and synchronize their spring break, because
Yeah.
I think Panorama is out this week. I think Jefferson is the following week, and then the South San Francisco School District the week after that. Yeah, so we got 3 weeks worth of spring break going on. So keep an eye out for the kids in the street for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, but we're not done yet.
Oh, we're not done yet.
We
today.
still have spring basketball camp, April 2nd to the 6th, and 9th to 13th. I know you have the old one.
Oh.
There's a spring soccer clinic, April 9th to the 13th. There is a Guard Start camp, April 9th to the 13th, an American Red Cross lifeguarding course, April 9th to the 13th.
Wow.
So you have many, many options to participate in any one of those camps. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 camps running at the same time. And then the final event on Saturday, April 13th, is the Spring Fever Showcase. This is hot off the press. I just got this. So if you want to do some Spring Fever showcasing, it's free. It's for teens. It's put on by our teen group, and it's at the Pacelli Event Center. Starts at 6:30. Doors open at 6 p.m. And come be a part of just some fever.
This is like
I have no
entertainment,
idea.
or
It's just everybody coming in, kind of like a free, kind of like
an
open mic-ish,
Yeah, okay.
but we wanted a Spring Fever showcase.
Right.
So showcasing your talent.
See.
Yeah. But come be a part of it. Lots going on, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
in the next 3 weeks.
And,
Yeah.
I noticed that a number of weeks back, Joseph, you sent out a list of, events happening throughout the year that you said if we can allow our schedule to accommodate it, to be aware of it and participate. And one caught my eye is Wednesday, March 28th, which is tomorrow. It's Pause for Tales, Read to a Dog at the Westlake Library at 4:30. So, is this for someone to bring their dog and read to it?
No,
or-
they provide the dogs.
Oh, they do?
It's a partnership with Peninsula Humane Society.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, so they caught my eye and I go, whoa, for those folks that are dog lovers?
It's actually something we started a couple years ago, and it's incredibly popular with the
Yeah.
kids. And
Yeah.
there have been studies, kids act differently reading to the dogs than if they were trying to read to an adult.
Oh,
And it seems to be an effective thing, and it's a popular thing. And yeah, we entered
Great.
into an agreement with the Peninsula Humane Society maybe a year ago. We started it.
it'll be interesting to see the quizzical looks we see from those dogs. Yeah. But As we said, this evening was an informational meeting for those that are viewing. No voting or actions were taken tonight. But again, any of the information that we mentioned on the plethora of lists of items that are upcoming, check your Daly City or call Daly City's recreation number at 991-8001 to get more information.
And again, just for the record, this meeting will go down in the archives and the history and the annals of Daly City as a canceled meeting because we did not attend a quorum. So there
Okay.
won't be minutes associated with this meeting, but since we have two outstanding commissioners that were here, ready to commit, and three wonderful staff people, actually four staff people. Thank
Yeah.
you, Cello, for the live stream.
Yeah.
We'll try again next month.
There you go. There you go. Thank you.